Hello! So, let's talk a little bit about music and neuroscience and what those two things have together in common. I know, a little bit weird topic, but I was watching a lot of Sapolsky, Robert Sapolsky. It's a professor from Stanford University in the States, and he's teaching behavioral neurobiology and neuroscience, and it's really interesting. I found out so much about human behavior when I was watching those, and I think it's also a great way to open source this amazing knowledge. Makes us understand humans. The weird thing is it makes us understand humans to a degree where we can't fault anyone for anything anymore. That's like, like a really high grade psychologist, he can't blame anyone for anything because he can explain every little behavior. So let's get back to the topic music, okay? So I thought a little bit about this, and it's a lot about, unique wiring of our brain. What makes us us? It's a really interesting topic, right? Yeah, it is. And basically, we are completely unique. There are obviously pathological sicknesses like depression, psychological disorders like narcissism, and a lot of different others disorders that are in some cases funny. There are, for example, people that only can get sexually aroused by amputated people, and a lot of those weird things. But that's not the point. Let's connect this to music. So let's take two examples, okay? Crazy Astronaut and me. Like, this guy is very, very, very talented. And in the end, your brain gives you the possibilities of how far you can go in the different areas of music, I would say. Obviously, there is a lot of will, but then will is also just neuroscience if you break it down, But yeah, it's this unique kind of brain which can take information and arrange it in a certain way. It's a lot about this, it's a lot about, perception, and then basically, putting those different pots of knowledge in the right areas in your brain and interconnecting them. So it's about this. The best tracks that I wrote, I didn't write getting very inspired by other people's music, and maybe some of the worst were like this. So if you are trying to reach the point of another great brain, as with your brain as a musician, I think that's the wrong pathway. The right pathway is to really search for your unique style that reflects your neurobiology and your metabolism, your brain metabolism. I think that is the way. So for example, okay, Crazy Astronaut makes great sound, it's fantastic, has musical knowledge, has musical talent, understanding. He does this, okay, he created this project. Now when somebody else is trying to create that project, he might run against a wall because his expertise, neuroscientifically seen, is somewhere completely else. And I think that's pretty marvelous for an artist to know that the greatest thing that you can do is actually follow yourself. This is the greatest thing that you can do. Don't follow other people. Obviously, you can have a look at other people's work. You should have a look at other people's work. It's really important, but don't get obsessive and, work with your own tools that you are discovering while working. I know music production and music in general is a highly complex thing, but nevertheless, try it out, try to find your own style. It's really like a pretty mundane tip to give anyone I know, but just the thought, the thought of connecting neuroscience and music production is pretty interesting. Check out Robert Sapolsky. Finally, I get his name right, I think, if I'm not butchering it again, from Stanford University. Subscribe to Stanford University, it's pretty interesting stuff. I was watching a couple of universities lately, and Sapolsky really convinced me. At first I thought like, nah, and then like after 1.5, 2 hours of watching him, I was like, so it's really worth it. Then I was watching some other stuff about writing, from another university in America, big one, UCLA, I think. No, not UCLA. That was in Chicago, university in Chicago. This guy was terrible. So like not every university delivers and not every professor delivers. A lot of academia is completely blindsided and dumb, especially the students, because they're in this frenzy of, you know, having to prove themselves, and yeah, they're so elitist. And you know, I was on an academy myself, and I got there for special talent, for extraordinary talent actually, because I didn't finish my school, but they wanted me, so they took me in like that. But this was one of the things that really disturbed me, was like that everybody was so fancying themselves, like, ooh, we are so good, you know, like, you're just, okay, no comment, but it's like, it's this university thing. But nevertheless, people like Sapolsky, you know, like, they gave their life to neuroscience and neurobiology, and it's really, really, really worth watching. And not, obviously not every student is a douchebag, but most of them are, to be very honest with you. And it's a natural thing that occurs. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out www.instinctlearning.com for cool presets, patches, samples, lessons, and more. Check it out, and yeah, see you guys in the next video.